Hey everybody, happy Friday. I'm Dr. Candice, your board certified pediatrician and kid health expert. Today, the word in the clinic is colic. And for those of you who have kids, who've had kids, or who are currently have a baby in the infancy period, you know what I'm talking about. That word often strikes fear in some parents and remind you like, oh my God, that was a tough time. So I want to give you some tips today on how to survive this tough period of infancy. Not all babies experience colic, but it is fairly common, and it's one of those phases, as I call them, that is very worrisome for parents. They lose some sleep. Hey, Stacy. They often lose sleep over it. They're worried that something's seriously wrong with the baby, and the baby looks in distress too. You know, they appear like they're in pain. Hey, Leticia. Thank you guys for watching. And so let's get into this and let's talk about what it is and should we be worried and what to do to make it better and how to survive this period. Hey, Carlos, thanks for watching. So colic, we're talking about colic, guys. So first, colic is, we don't know what causes it. Just to be point blank and honest, we don't know what causes colic. Everybody has their theories. People target the tummy as a cause, like there's something wrong with the tummy. Parents often think it's intolerance to formula. They think it's gas. They think it's constipation that's causing the child to behave in this manner. But we really don't know what causes colic. But what it is a period of, we call them paroxysms, or a period of crying spells. That's a fancy word for spells, of crying and irritability and moving about. So they act like they're irritated and mad and angry, and they're crying. And sometimes that crying is really high pitched, so the parent thinks they're in a lot of pain. And the crying, there's a lot of threes here, seems to happen more than 3 hours a day, more than 3 days a week. And so that's a lot of crying. So that would be worrisome to any parent for their baby to be crying that much when they weren't before, okay? The child may pull their knees up to their chest. They may be passing gas. They may sound like they're straining. They just seem very distressed and irritated and in pain. They can also be fussy, just can't get them to settle down. And again, we don't know what causes it, but it looks very scary and very harmful for a child. So it distresses parents and it worries them. So I get parents coming in very concerned, multiple visits. It's hard to reassure them that everything's okay, and rightfully so. I experienced this. Hey, LaShantha. I experienced this myself with my son. My daughter didn't do it, but my 10-year-old son did. And I remember, guys, calling my mother in the middle of the night. My son was around 6 weeks of age, and this is when it peaks. Hey, Nita. Around 6 weeks of age, and that's the peak period for colic. And I couldn't get him settled. I couldn't do anything. I had tried it all. And this was the period that all the relatives had left. My husband was on call. I was all alone with this crying, fussy kid. And I was sleep deprived. So that's also going on at this time. And when you get sleep deprived, you're a little crazy. You're irritated too. So it's just a recipe for disaster. And I called my mom up and I just asked her to pray for me, y'all. I really did. I said, pray for me. So she belted out one of her, powerful prayers, and some kind of way that baby went to sleep, and I got a little sleep myself. But it is really rough, okay? Because something has to seriously be going on for me to call my mom and tell her to give me one of those prayers. So that works. Prayer works, right? So anyway, we talked about what colic is, or what it isn't, because we don't know what it is. We talked about the period of time. So I want to stress to you that it's a phase. It typically, that's the part I left out. It typically occurs between 3 weeks and 3 months. And as I said, it peaks around 6 weeks. So there's a lot of threes. It's 3 hours or more of crying more than 3 days a week. So that's kind of the formula to make that diagnosis. But by all means, if your child is doing all of this, that's cause for concern. Make sure you come in to see your pediatrician and have your baby examined, because in some cases there may be something going on that is more serious. So just don't ignore it and say it's colic. The second thing is, what do we do about it? So I want to give you some of those tips, okay? So you don't want to overstimulate your baby. I already said that we're irritated too, because sometimes it's happening late at night or early in the morning. They usually have a period where they do it, right? And it's special to each child during that period of time. And so you're tired, you're sleepy, you're just not here for it, because crying is fussy, it's loud, it's skrilling, and so it can irritate you. So you need to calm down and take a deep breath. Okay, that's the first thing, okay? Especially after you've been reassured by your doctor that the baby's okay and it is colic. Try to keep yourself calm, take care of yourself, and stay prayed up and all of that. Try your best if you can to have some help. This is the time where you call in the village. He's going through colic right now. This is going to be a rough couple of weeks or even up to a month or so. Can someone come and help me? Can you just come during the day so I can get some extra sleep, so I can get through this at night or in the evening? Whatever you can, get some help. Let them give you an hour break. Now that baby, if you're alone and the baby's really agitated and you find yourself boiling over and getting out of control, walk away. Put the baby safely in their crib, in their seat. Keep them safe and walk away and calm yourself down and cool down. It's okay to leave them there in a safe way in their crib until you can get yourself together. I'm just being honest with you. It happens, okay? It happens. Don't feel guilty about that. Walk away. Give yourself 10, 15 minutes to calm down. Go outside, get some fresh air, have a drink. And then come back to the baby, knowing that they're safe. Hey, Melody, that's fine, okay? So concentrate on you and take care of yourself. Do other things to help the baby settle down. So that's when these fancy swings come into play, the rockers, the PlayStations. So oftentimes that will help distract the baby, and the baby can be soothed by that. Noise machines, the baby may want to feed. If they're young enough, swaddling may help calm them down. So anything that's safe, try to do it to calm them down. Walking them around, rocking them, bobbing them, all of these things may help them calm down. So try all of those things as well, okay? Then my next thing is what parents will like to do, and they get a lot of advice from grandmas. Hey, Lauren, how are you? Thanks for watching. Thanks, Melody, for watching. You'll get a lot of advice during this period because you're in distress. Grandmas, aunties, everybody on the street that you pass by. This is what I did. This worked. Okay, let me just say this. It's 3 weeks to 3 months. Okay, it's a period. It's a phase. It's just keep the faith that it's going to go away. And as soon as you start doing something, it gets better and goes away, and you swear that's what worked. But 9 times out of 10, it just phased out. The baby outgrew whatever was going on, and now they're settled. So I will get parents that come in several times, and they may even get upset with me because I'm trying to reassure them like I'm telling you guys. They just don't believe me. I'm sure nothing's serious wrong with the baby. The baby's growing, thriving well, and they're doing well. And I explain colic and give them information. They're not buying it, right? And they have several visits. And then one day I see them back around 4 months. And I go, so how's the colic going? Oh, it's gone. Oh, you were right. Oh, it's all good. It's gone. So trust me, right? It just phases away. And you're like, wow, we had to go through all of that. So anyway, so I said all of that to say, don't try things that are harmful. People have concoctions, they have medications, they go and get everything off the shelf of the pharmacy or the baby store. All of that stuff is not needed. Like I said, a lot of people think it has to do with the gut, that it may be gas or issues with the formula. Some parents spend all their money changing formulas. None of that stuff has been proven to work. So save your money and don't do things that could be potentially harmful to your baby in an effort to settle them down. Just see your doctor, Be reassured that they're healthy and thriving well, that this is a colicky period. It will go away. Do safe things to help ease it as best you can. Have help, have support, calm yourself down. Try to settle them down as much as you can with all these safe tricks that we mentioned earlier.